Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes.
Where you see the Meet link, the Google page.
Sorry.
We see the Google page.
Right now I'm not on Google page. That's why I'm asking. Can any other first confirm that whether they are seeing which page? I am on Eclipse as of now.
Yeah, now we see Eclipse.
Okay. In the last lecture we have discussed Maven. So, but not TestNG. So today we will discuss only about TestNG. So let me do one thing. So this is yesterday. This is the project we have created. So again, this is a Maven project. So how to create a Maven project? Right click, new, uh, project, select Maven project, click on next, click next again, and from here just type. So this is the template we are going to work on. You can say, so whatever the name I will give here, that will be my project name. So after that, click on finish. So this is our other project. If I open this, we require two dependency, which are first is TestNG, because we are working with the TestNG framework. So let me get it from here. Just type TestNG. Copy this, and this is our project. So let me delete this file. It is not required. And in this XML file, see, we are not working with JUnit, we are working with TestNG. So let me remove this and paste TestNG. Save the project. And let me also get the Selenium dependency. So I will write Selenium Java. So these are not stable. Let me choose this one. So I will place Selenium here. Okay. So here you will also get this. But today we are not discussing Maven, so I will not do any changes here. We are just discussing testing today. So now let me create few test cases. So in the previous project as well, we have three classes. Let me copy this. So I will copy all the three classes. 1, 2, 3. Copy and just paste. So right now we are working on this project. So if I open this, so what is this? It is a @test annotation. So basically, if I write the definition annotation, decide which test next in our script. So this is the definition. So there are so many annotations in TestNG. Let us discuss them one by one. So those who have joined late, today we are going to discuss TestNG. So now we are going to discuss some few annotations of TestNG. So first of all, if I need to run this car test here, if I say right click, run as this. For that, here you are seeing that run as one TestNG test. So for that you have to download one plugin. So in your Eclipse, otherwise you will not see that option. Just write Eclipse TestNG plugin. So here, so I think this is their official website. So how you can download? So let us not go in this. So it is important to download the plugin, otherwise you will not see TestNG run as TestNG suite. So here if you come down, okay, so what is the plugin? Let me do one thing. Let me go here. Go to window, go to help and click install new software. And yeah, or you can go here, help, Eclipse marketplace, and I will go to install one so that I can know what is the name of that plugin. This is a plugin you have to download, right? So I've already downloaded it. So go to this search and type this TestNG for Eclipse. If I try, just search here TestNG for Eclipse. TestNG. So here you can see, as of now, I am getting this installed, but you will get this icon for the first time. So just click on this, and after that you have to click on next, next, next. After that, it will ask you to restart your Eclipse editor, and then it's done, right? Once you have installed that, you will see this. You will see this run as TestNG test. Otherwise, you will not see this. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, I hope it is clear. So let us discuss. First, I will. The reason why we are studying TestNG is that because it is a framework, so that framework will, if you have somewhere around 500 test case, so will you go on running 500 test case one by one? But that is not a good choice. So the framework will basically help us to to include all of our test case. Once we include all of our test case in our framework, it is very easy to maintain each and every test case. And even if we require to run all the test case at once, framework will help us to do that. So basically, it will help us to maintain our code and maintain our uh, test case. So this is the reason we are using the framework. because right. So this is the reason we are using the framework. Now here we are using, there are so many frameworks like JUnit is also one of the framework. NUnit is also one of the framework, right? But here we are discussing only about TestNG in this lecture. So, so here there are three test cases. I am using @test annotation, and these are the test cases I have written. If I want to run any class, how I can run? Right click, run as TestNG. It will the total three test case ABC. Now you can see we get some neat output in case of framework. So these are the output. That is saying all the three test cases are passed. Test case name is ABC, and after that it is saying total test case run 3, failure 0, skips 0, like that. So after that we have three test cases, right? Now here I am running the test case one by one, which means I will go to this particular class and run my test case. But if I need to run all the test case at once, then TestNG XML, there is one concept which is called as the TestNG XML, which we have discussed yesterday as well. They convert to TestNG. Now this is our XML. It has created. This is our XML. So with the help of this TestNG XML, here I am only having three test case. But in your project you can have 50 or 100 of test case. If you want to run all the test case at once, right click, run as TestNG suite. So this will going to run all the test case. So you can see here it will run all the test case. Total test case 6. So I think right. So whatever the test case you will define inside each and every class, that will run with the help of TestNG XML. So let us understand this. So this is simply a comment, right? Wherever you will select, you will see exclamation sign. That is a comment, right? Even if I remove that, that is not an issue. So let the comment be there. And here if you see, so forget about this as of now. If I remove this, just consider this one. So this is the version of XML file which they have defined, right? And this is, if you go to that website, you can see the document, right? You can see the document if I try to open it. So again, this is a comment, right? You can also remove it. Not first one, wherever you will find exclamation sign, right? So let me not remove it. What is the error? There is not an error. Let it be here. So here I am saying at the top level, I can change its name like suite of test case. So first of all, it is a suite, right? Inside that suite, we are having some test case. So like if I say test name is like regression test case. So you can give any name, but you cannot change this name, right? And inside that regression test, if I run it again, if you see, let us see what is the output we are getting. So inside that suite, we are having some test case. So first classification is regression test. So you can see earlier some other name is coming. So inside this suite, we are having total 6 test case because inside each and every class there is some test case. So this is how you will get the output. So right inside, so this is the parent tag. This is the closing of parent tag, and after that they have closed this. So test tag is started here, and after that it is closed here. And suit is the outermost. So suit is started here, ended here. So now suppose suppose I want to skip one test. Suppose if I say so ABC here, and let me remove this. Let me also remove this and let me. Okay. So if I suppose write, if I consider this mobile test, let me write one more, which is at the rate before two. So this is one annotation I'm using, public void before SUIT. And there is one more annotation which is after suit. So what is the difference between these two? So import the package, import this. So it is, let me give some other name. And if I try to print some data here, like I will execute first. So if I try to run again my TestNG XML, just run this. So you can see this before suit has run before any test case, before any classes have run, right? It has executed first, and after suit will execute. Where is after suit? This one. So it will execute at the last when all your test cases from these classes have run. So this is our before suit and after suit. So basically we can use it like we can use it if we want to make some database connection at the very beginning before starting any of the test case. So you can use before suit and after suit for closing the connection. So this is where you can use before suit and after suit. So similarly, there are other as well. Like if I say, if I write here, let me write it here. Before class at the rate before class. Public void. And there is one more which is after class. Import the package. And if I print some data here, so what does that mean? So here this is our class name. And if I try to run, if I try to run this again, run as TestNG suit. Let us see what in what way we are getting the output. So this will be same again before suit, after all the classes, right? Before suit and after suit. But if you see this car test class, here I have provided two annotation before class, after class, which means how many test cases we have defined? At the rate test, two test cases are there, right? But as I have defined one more before class, So before these two methods, first this will be executed. So here you can see I executed before any test in car test class. This has executed and this will execute at the last of this class when all these two will execute. So this is how before class and after class will work. So prior to this class, all these will run, and after that this will run. But before shoot and after shoot will run at the beginning and at the start, at the beginning and at the last. So this is the difference. I hope it is clear. Okay then. So we will give few more. So this is before class and after class. And if I come here, there is one more which is before test. If I provide one before test here, if I say before test public void for test, I am before test. There is one more which is after test. Public void import the package again, import this one and import this one, and I will print I am after test. So let us see where it will print. If I run it again from here, so again before shoot and after shoot will remain same. So this is our before shoot earlier, this is after shoot, right? And this will again remains the same before class and after class. But if you see this one, where this has executed, so after before shoot and after shoot, if you provide this before test and after test, so prior to these three classes, this whatever the test cases you have defined inside these three classes, before that this will run. Which one? Where it is? This one. Before test will run, you can see the execution point. Before executing any method from three classes, first before test is run, and then once all the test cases from the three classes are completed, then this after test will run, right? But if you provide before shoot will execute at the last, even after that. So this is our before test and after test. Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay, so this is also clear. So this is our before test and after test. So these are the annotations basically we will definitely use in our framework as well. So here I'm not writing any code or original code related to Selenium, just we can go with this. So there is one more. If I come here I have not defined anything. And one more thing, even if you write these two, cut this before test, after test, anywhere, then also it will run in the same way. If I place it here, save it, and if I run it again, you will see the before test and after test will come here. So run as. So again you can see let me run it again. Okay. So again you see before test, before executing any method, any method in the all the three classes before test is executed, and after the test is executed, after all the test cases have run. But before suit and after suit will definitely run at the last if you define. So we see what if I come to bike test, if I define one more code method, I think before method public void m. This is our what it import this. So what is this before method? If you define before method, so how many test cases we have defined? This is our test case number 1 and this is our test case number 2. So before method what will do? It will run every time. Suppose I am running this. Suppose your test engine is trying to running this one b1 test case. So before that, first this will run, and after that, once it tries to run it again you will see this will run. So this will total run 2 times because we are having 2 test case. If I just run this single class, you can see first before will run because once our test engine tries to run this test case, it identifies that this is the annotation I provided. So first it will run this one. After that, once it tries to run this one again, before that again this will run. This will total run 2 times. You can see total 2 times. And if I provide after method, so after method, after method. So let me copy this again.
So, Sumit, the difference between before method and before test would be before method will get executed before every test method,
Yeah,
and
see, before method is belonging to basically one class. If I am providing before method, whatever the test case will, suppose I'm running this. Before that, first this will run, but before test will run only one time prior to all the three classes. See why I'm saying all the three classes? Because this is the hierarchy you have created. If you change it, then accordingly it will change. But here, just see this one. We have one suit. Inside that, there is one test name. Inside that, all we have the three classes. So if you provide before test, if you provide, let me write it here as well. If you provide before test, if your hierarchy is this one, then before test will run before all the three classes, and after test will run after all the three classes. But if you provide before method and after method, like for this class I have provided before method. So suppose in this car test, when this test case will try to run, when this test case will try to run, before that before method will run every time, right? And so if I try to run this one, then before method will run again. So this is the difference. Is it clear? Let me run after method as well, then
yeah.
you will, if I try to see. Now I'm saying after method as well in this class. If I, yeah. So what will happen? First, when I'm running this class, right click run as TestNG. So first it will try to go alphabetic wise because TestNG runs in the alphabetical order. So here B1 and B2. So first B1 will run. So as soon as this will try to run, let me try to put debugger. I think we can put, let us debug this. So I put it one debugger. Right click, debug as TestNG test. You can switch. So now you can see before executing this one, it first came here because this is the annotation I provided. So if I run this one, and after that it should execute this line. So if I run this, I think now you can see after that it has came here. And once this will complete, this test case will complete, I have provided after method. So after that, this will run. So if you see this again, if I click, you can see this. After that, it came here, after method. And once after method will complete, what is our second test case? This is our second number test case. Now it will try to run, but before that test case again, this before method will run. So if you see this, you can see again before running this, this has completed. So you can see the output. But after that, it tries to run this test case, but it again find this before method. So how whatever the if you have 10 test case, then it will run before method will run 10 times before each and every test case. So if I run it after this before test case, now you can see we are here. Now it will run this, and after that this will run. So if I run this one, and after method will execute, and it will finish. So whatever we have discussed before method and after method, their scope is only to the present class, right? But if I talk about before class, sorry, if I talk about before class, let me write it here again. If I write before class here as well, or if I write before class, public void v4 c, and if I import the package, provide the breakpoint here. So if I try to debug it again, this time before, if I run it, debug as, so now you can see, first of all, it came to before class because before class will going to run before each and every test case in our class. So first it will run, and after that it will try to run this one, but again it will find this one. So after that, let us see where it comes. Now you can see we are here before method. So now same steps will be again this one it will run, and after that after method, again before method, and after that the test case, and after that after method. If you have provided the before class, then after this after method, at the end you will see the before class. So this is the difference. So you can debug that as well at your point. So where is the okay? So we have discussed before test, sorry, before test, after method, before method. So after method and before method will run every time before each and every test case. And if you provide before suit, that will run first. If you provide before suit in any of the three classes, then before suit will be the one that will run first. Okay. So these are the some annotations we have discussed. And if I suppose I need, this is my test case, and I need to skip some of the test case, which means let me remove this. Let me remove this. If I save it, let us create few more test cases. ABC. test 3. This is our test case number 5. Let us create one more. Test case number 6. And if I run this, so the output will be so how many test cases we have run. Okay, so the reason why it is not run the test case is because I have not put @test @test. Otherwise, it will not identify our. It will simply treat them as method. So @test run as TestNG test. Now, so first these have run. That is okay. And now suppose I want to include or exclude some of the test case. So which means in this mobile test class, where is the mobile test class? This is our mobile test class. In this mobile test class, I need to run the test case having the name as test. So if you see the name, this is our one test case name. This is our second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So I want to run all the test case that is having test as their name. But I do not want to execute the rest. So how we can do? So which class we are talking about? It is our mobile test. So this is our mobile test class. So what it is meaning? I can also do like this. If I remove this, after that I can say slash class. That is also the same thing. Instead of closing it here directly at one line, I am closing it in the other line. And inside that, what I can say, there is one, you can say methods, and you can say I am talking about this class as of now. You can say include name equals to test. So we are having three test case with the having test dot star. Star means we are using some regular expression to tell that include all the test case that is starting with the test. So what is there? Save it. Okay. So I'm saying include the name that is having test, like if I say 5. So it will include only this test case from this class. If you see this, save it. And if I try to run from TestNG XML, now TestNG XML will see that you have provided this include name here. So it will only run test file from the third class. So if I try to run, so let us see. From the mobile test class, you see only this test 5 has run. You can clearly see it here. So these are from other classes. This from car class, right? But from this mobile one, we are only getting, if you see this, if I write it here, test 5 we got because I've said that include all the name with the test 5. Similarly, if I say test 4 and run this, now it has only run test 4 from the last class, which is mobile. But if I need to run test number 4, test number 5, test number 6, so I can say test dot star. if I say test, which means all my test cases are having the name as test, but after that whatever the value you will find, include that test case as well. If I run it, it will run test number 4, 5 and 6. Let us see. So you can see after I provided star, it has run all the test case which are having test as the starting name, but it does not matter which number it will end. So I am provided star. Similarly, if you do not want to run all the 3 test case but execute the rest in the sense we are having total test 4, test 5, test 6. I do not want to run all the 3 test case, but I need to run test number A, this one, this one and this one, B and C. So how we can do? Now you can use the reverse of this, which is I am talking about this class. So all the operations I will define here only. I will say exclude name, exclude the name of the test case that is starting with the test, and whatever digit it will end, that is not an issue, but do not run the test case that is starting with the test because I am providing exclude tag here. If I try to run now, you will see you do not see these 3 output in your test case. So this is how you can use include and exclude mechanism if you want to control which test case you want to execute. So now you can see now the output you got is this one, test 1, test 3 and this one as well, right? So again it has taken the alphabetical wise, I think. First of all A, test case number A, then B and then C. So this is how you can use include and exclude mechanism. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, Sumit.
Suppose if you want to work with this class, from this class, how you can do? As of now, let me remove this. So if I do like this, which means our class tag has closed here at the in the single line. But if I talk about this, suppose I want to work here. So first I will remove this closing of the class tag and I will close in this way. After that I will say slash class, which means this class tag started here, ended here, second one only, right? So after that again I can say methods include or exclude, just like we did it earlier. Now what are the operation you will define that will be applicable to your this class? So similarly you can define it for the other classes as well. So let me change it to normal. So this is our include and exclude mechanism. So there is one more way you can use to skip some of the test case. How you can do? So what is the output here as of now? This is one output. It is coming V1 smoke test. So I think it is here. So let me do one thing. Let me also remove this. So if I run this class, if I just run normally, right click, run as TestNG. So output will be V1, V2, right? If I want to skip this test case, we can use include and exclude mechanism, just like we did it earlier for the third class. But we can also use, if I want to disable this test case, I can say enabled equals to false. So I can provide, if I provide this one, I write it again. Suppose I do not want to run this test case. Run as TestNG. So this time you will not see this output. V2 smoke test in your output you will not see. You can see only one. If I say this enabled equals to false here as well, if I say enabled equals to false here as well, what will happen? Again, if I try to run, now this time you see this. Not a single test case is executed from this class because I'm saying enabled equals to false, right? So if you provide true, or if you remove it, then it will run. Otherwise, you can also do true. So it will start to run your test case. So this is also one of the way. So if you see this, now you can see this is the output we are getting because enabled equals to true. So this is also one of the way. If you do not want to run the test case, you can do this. Is it clear to everyone?
Yeah.
So there is one more. So this enabled is called as the helper attribute of this enabled is called because it is helping us to control the whether we have to run our test case or not. So if somewhere, right? So this is one of the helper attribute in TestNG. So similarly, you can also set the priority. As of now, suppose I want to run this test case first. I want to control which test case will execute first. So let me do one thing on this and also on this. Also remove this. I need to set in which way first it is running. Let me first check again. If I run in a normal way, so output is okay. So at the rate test, if I run it again, so output is B1, B2, B3, B1 and then B2 and then B3. I want first this will execute, then this one, and then this one. So we can also set the priority, which means I can say provide the function bracket say priority equals to 1. First run this test case, then say priority equals to 2, then say priority equals to 3. So if you provide this, let us see what is the earlier B1, B2, B3. Now output should be B3, B2 and B1. So if I run it, so now you can see test case has executed according to the number you have given. So first for the one it will be first one, for the second it will be second one, and then third one. So this is also you can set the priority if you want to run the test case according to your need. So this is one advantage we can also get with the TestNG. So let me create one new class. So class name is so what are assertions in so this part is clear to everyone. Priority equals to how we can define the priority of any test case. Okay, I hope it is clear. So public. So there are some assertions in TestNG. So let me use public static void main. what are assertions? These are the validations or checkpoints for our test script. So whatever the test case we will write, if we want to make sure that we are, suppose if I say there is one website. The website title is this one. Title is like I can say XYZ, right? So this is our, just assume this is our website title. This is our, I will say, correct website title. Now I want to check through my Selenium code that whether this title is correct. So what I can do, I will launch the browser. I can launch the browser, then apply this method we have already done. Driver.get title. I will fetch the title. Suppose the title is fetched here. String title, right? And I can now use one if else condition. If title, so whatever the title we are getting here, title of website. If title website dot equals, if it is equals to, earlier we have done this one. If it is equals to this one, which means everything is correct, which means our title validation is correct. Otherwise I can say in the else condition title is displaying incorrect. But if you see, when we are writing our test case, I want that if our title is, if there is some mistake in our code, then automatically our code will fail. Our code should fail. If I want in this way, not with the if else condition. So basically in the TestNG, if we want to apply any validation, we are going to use assertion. We are going to use assertions, not the if else condition, right? So what will happen? See, if I, so there is one class which is called assert is assert dot set true. So there are so many methods here. So let us discuss the first important one. So assert true. And here what it is expecting. Suppose this is the title. This is our title, right? And there is one more title, string title we get. So this is the title we get, just assume, by applying this get title. So suppose the title we get is XYW, some different title we get. So what I can do, sorry, can use this one, assert equals. So this means I'm saying my actual data is, this is our actual title we get. So I will say this one here. And what is this? I'm expecting this one, which is correct. If I run this, let us see what is the output. So it should be static. Run as Java application. So yeah, you can see that if I am writing like this, if I have used if else condition, our test case will not fail at all. But here you get the clear exception that I am expecting this one, but found this one, which means there is some issue with our website, so that we can check it. So this is the reason it is just a checkpoint whether our application is working correct or not. If I make this as correct, suppose both the time we get the same title, so now it will not fail, and which means our website is working correct. So now you can see no error. But if you get, you can also, there is one more which is assert if suppose if I comment this,
Sumit, one question. So assert equals will return anything, it won't return any value. Like Boolean, like true or false.
yeah, I am coming to this point. See, if you say like this equals to, suppose I want to compare whether this one and whether this one and this one is correct or not. So if you are talking about this one, it will not return anything. It is saying void. Void means it will not return anything, right? But if you compare here like this, if title dot equals, I want to check whether it is equals to this one. Now it will return this way. It will return one boolean value. So this we have discussed. Again, this will not return you anything. This is a class, right? It is a class. This is a method, a static method. So here you can see this will not return you anything. It will simply validate whether these two are equal or not. If they are not equal, then it will throw the exception just like we did it earlier. So suppose if I am just doing this way, I am saying if I provide B here and if I debug this, so after debugging, is are these two equal? Yes, these two are equal. So condition true, it will return you true. So I am catching it here, right? So how this method will work? Assert dot assert true. If inside that it will found true, then there is not an issue. Everything is correct. So this will not throw any error. But instead of that, if it found inside false, suppose if I make some change here, now these two are not equal. We will get false here, and inside of that you will have false. So if I right click run as Java application, now this time it will fail, which means something error is there. So this is also one of the assertion. Is it clear to everyone? How it is failing?
Yes, Sumit.
There is one more. The there is one more which is the reverse of this one. Reverse in the sense like if I say assert false, if inside that you will find, if it finds false inside, that is okay. Otherwise, if it finds true, it will throw the error, which means like if I comment this as a true and this time if I provide B inside, as B is coming, as we are getting false inside B, and let me do one thing, let me write some, suppose this is my important code. I need to suppose some code is written here, just tell me I have written. So I'm saying if I run this, as of now we will have false because these two are not equal, but this method's expecting false inside. If that is the case, that is not an issue, and you can see this is my important code. These two lines are having some important code. I need to run this test case. I need to execute even if my test case will fail. So as of now, test case has not failed. So if I try to fail the test case, suppose if I make them similar. So now these two are equal. So if I provide true inside this, assert false, it will fail. And let us see what will happen. So now it has failed. And these two lines are not executed. But this time you can see it is saying that inside of this argument, I am expecting false, but this is the value I got. So I am failing at this point. But now after that, these two lines are not executed. So how we can do that? So what are assertion again if I repeat? These are the validation or checkpoints. that help us to validate whether our application is working correctly or not. So whatever the assertion which we have discussed, three assertion we have discussed, assert false, assert true, and this one. These are called hard assertion. So this can be an interview question. They can ask you how many types of assertion we have. These are called hard assertion. So what will happen in case of hard assertion? If any point of time your test case will fail, suppose my test case is failing here. So whatever the code you have written after that, that will never going to execute. You can see here. So this is nothing but our hard assertion. So there is one more kind of assertion which is called as soft assertion. So basically, if you use soft assertion, even if the test case will fail at the end, even if your test case will fail here, these two will definitely going to execute. So you can achieve that with the soft assertion. So how we can use this soft assertion? So there is basically one soft assert class. We need to create the object of this class. So create the object, import the package, and suppose again I'm using this one. You will find the same methods here as well, but you need to call them with the help of this SA object. How you can say SA dot assert this one. Now here again I will pass the same thing. Suppose I am passing ABC GHU. So if you see this time, let me comment this one. Now here condition is false because these two are not equal. And if I try to run this now, now you can see this is executed, right? Similarly, if I provide one more which is SA dot, if I say false, this is also a, it will again fail. This will also fail. This should also fail. But now if I run this, both the conditions are not matching, but still our these two lines are executed. But there is one issue. The issue is that even if I just suppose I am running this code, someone is running this code, and if he founds this one, that okay, he will say that there is not an issue in my test case. But we can clearly see here there is some mismatch happening in our test case, so that should also be failed. So what we can do after our important code, I can use one method which is assert all. So what this method will do, whatever the exceptions you came at this 2 point, it will throw the exceptions at the end. So if you see this, if I run this time, so you can see if I come up, so you can see this is my important.
So Sumit, if we don't give us at all, then it will never throw any exception,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So it is important to throw this at the end so that we can know where our test case is failed. Okay. If I run it again, so you can see our important code is executed. We achieved two things with the help of soft assertion. Our important code is executed, and also our test case will be failed, right? So you can see what is the assertion. First, it is from this one. I am expecting GHI. I am expecting GHI, but I found ABC. Similarly, this is also failed. But in case of hard assertion, these two lines are never executed, so that was the disadvantage. So now we can use soft assertion. So these two assertions are the part of TestNG, right? So TestNG has provided these assertions to us. So when we will design our framework, we will going to use these assertions there as well. Is it clear to everyone? So there are so many methods you can explore more, right? So if I say dot, there are so many methods, right? You can explore them all. if you right. So this is all about assertion. Assertions are of two types, hard and soft assertion. So in case of hard assertion, if our test case will fail at one point, the rest of the code will never execute it at all. But in case of soft assertion, we can provide assert all at the end so that our important code will be executed and we can throw the exception at the end. So this is our soft assertion. So if I create one more class, let me take main method. So till now, if we want to, you have seen that we have used sleep many places for waiting issue because sometimes for if I need to put some weight, I use like this. But this is not related to Selenium. This is a part of Java. So what this will do if I write, let me do one thing. Let me open one website so that we can understand. So if I click this, okay. So basically, first let me open the URL. So as we are working with Maven, earlier I need to do like this: system.set property, then WebDriver driver equals to new Chrome driver, right? So let me not use system.set property. There is one dependency we can use. So that is another way of launching the Chrome browser. Open Maven repository again. So just write here uh, Chrome. Just write WebDriver manager. Just write WebDriver manager Maven. So open this and go to the latest version. Copy this. Copy this line and paste it on Chrome. Every dependency you have to place it here. So once I will place and save the project, it will download some file. Save it. So what after you will see this, so we are working with weights, right? So there is one class which is WebDriver dot. So it is still getting the files, so it's building. Okay, so it has got. So if you want to run your test case on Chrome driver, or you can say Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Opera Mini, right? Opera Mini, what are that? So this is also a web type of browser. So here you will get, you can use, if I want to run my test case on Chrome browser, I will say Chrome driver dot setup. So first it will set up this, and after that if I try to write WebDriver driver equals to Chrome driver. So this you have to write anyway. Import this package. I am not using system.set property. I am using this statement. So that will take care of the .exe file. It will take automatically. It will have all the files. So if I import this, so better way to use this one as well because it will take care of everything. So I will say driver.get. And if I pass this URL, copy this URL, paste it. Okay, so paste it and save it. So now instead of using system.set property, I'm using this line. It will automatically take care of all the .exe file. It will take care. Just create the object and use all the method. methods will be the same. So now if I comment this and if I click it here, so it will take some time to load one element. So now what I need to do, I need to get this text. I need to apply get text and fetch the text. So how we can do? First let me click this. Inspect it. So div id equals to start. Write any locator. Div id equals to start. So where is the, I can go till here if you want. So I'm writing CSS or you can use XPath. So now I will click this button. So I will driver dot find element by dot XPath, sorry, by dot CSS. Now if I click this button, if I click this button, click this button, and inspect this. Div id equals to finish. Id equals to finish. So I need to get the text. So I will say now I will apply get text and fetch the text. Copy it. So I will again say driver dot find element by dot CSS. This is our CSS, and I will say get me the text. So I will capture that in one variable in text, and after that I will print. So this is the activity I have to do. I want to simply print the text. Text is equals to plus text. Let us see what will happen if I run this program. Or let me debug this. See, it has clicked the button, right? And after that we get this text. So what is the text here? The text is coming empty, right? If I print it, nothing will be printed. I am expecting this text, which is hello world. So right, so nothing is printed, empty text is printed. So the reason why it has not printed anything is if I refresh it, if I click it, it is taking some time to load the element, right? I think around 5 to 6 seconds. Then after 5 to 6 seconds, it is displayed. So what we can do, we can apply this one. If I try to do, so let us do one thing. Let us not use this one. So there are weights in Selenium. We should not use this one. I will tell you why we should not use this one. So one is implicit weight. Explicit weight. And there is one more, we will discuss that later. Just consider these two. So if I talk about implicit weight, how you can define implicit weight? Like if I say this is our driver object dot manage is one method, then after that dot timeout dot implicit weight. So here, suppose I want to give the wait of 10 seconds. So I will say 10. Then after that, I will say time unit dot seconds. So if I write this line, so basically I'm saying for each and every what you can say, for each and every statement you are seeing here, wait for 10 seconds, which means before failing at least wait for 10 seconds. So this will be applied to each and every line. This line it will, you can say, I am saying that if I, whenever you are clicking this, suppose if I open Amazon website, so here you can see website is opened very fast. Sorry, it has not opened. So you can see it has opened very fast, but there are some website. If I show you one website, which is, there are some websites. This one. So you can see it is how much time it will take. You can see. As of now, if I click this, so it is taking more time to load. So it might be the case that Selenium will fail your test case. But I know that this will take around 50 seconds. I know that this will take around 50 seconds. So I can say before failing the test case, wait for at least 50 or 60 seconds or 1 minute. If I say 60, it will be 1 minute. So this I can define. But if I define like this, what will happen? It will be applied to each and every step, which means if I have defined here 60 seconds, for that 60 seconds, this will be applied here, this will be applied here as well, this will be applied here as well. So suppose if I using instead of this one, I know that my website is taking somewhere around 60 seconds. So sometimes what happens, my website is taking 10 seconds, but sometimes 50 seconds or sometimes 40 seconds. So if I do thread.sleep, what is the disadvantage of using this thread.sleep? So it is 5,000, which is 5 seconds. So if I say 15,000, 15 seconds. If I say 45,000, which is 45 seconds. So the time is in millisecond. Suppose I am using this one. So once our control will come here at 19th line, it will basically pause your script, and after 45 second only, we will navigate to our next step. So this is how thread.sleep will work, right? But here in case of if I do like this, if I remove this, instead of thread.sleep, if I use this one, suppose I am saying my website sometimes is taking 30 seconds or sometimes it is taking 45 seconds. I do not know. So if I use 60 seconds, suppose this time my website loaded at 14th second. It has loaded. So if that is the case, this time it will not going to wait for 60 seconds. It will resume the execution of your test case, which means if you have used this one, your time will waste every time if you use that. This will waste your time. This will take much time, because even if my element will appear or disappear on the time, still it will wait for 45 seconds. But if my element will appear, suppose at 15th or 14th second, then we will navigate to our next step. So this is the reason we should never use thread.sleep in our program execution or our test case execution, because it will make our test execution is slow. So this is the reason we should never use thread.sleep. Is it clear to everyone?
Yeah, Sumit, so one doubt. So, WebDriver Manager.ChromeDriver.setup. So, this will automatically take the driver from, I mean, Chrome driver from any location that you keep inside the.
No,
project, how is it like?
You do not need to keep any do not need to download any exe file. It will automatically have all the files, right? If I try to show whether I can show. So this is again, we have placed one maven WebDriver manager in our pom.xml. If you remember, where we have placed this one we have placed, right? So if I try to see what are the dependencies we are having. So for the Chrome driver, it has already downloaded one jar file, right? That will take, inside that you will have your .exe file. So you do not need to download any of the file. It will automatically take care with the help of jar file, which it has downloaded. You do not need to do anything. Is it clear?
Sure. Yeah. Got it.
So I am saying, if I try to see, suppose, let me do one thing. If I So as we are performing this activity, if you remember, so this element is taking some time to load. If I click start, so it is taking some time, like you can say 6 to 7 seconds, I can say. After that, this is displayed. So if I use thread.sleep, if I use, suppose I am using thread.sleep of 7 seconds. 7 I am defining here. And instead of this one, let me do this way. So where I need to put this statement after clicking on the button. After clicking on the button, I need to place this, right? So because once button will be clicked, it will wait for 7 seconds, and now our text will display. So what will happen if I place debugger here? So now you can see, as of now, our element is displayed. You see this element displayed as I put it the debugger, so it got the time to display. So now again you will see this will wait for 7 seconds, right? Even after, suppose, just assume our element displayed at the first second, only at the first second our element displayed. But as I provided this line, it will wait for 7 seconds again. That, because so that will cost the time for us. So if you see this, after 7 seconds, we will move to this line after 7 seconds. So this is how it will behave, and this time we will also get the text because text is in visible mode. Text is in visible mode. If I apply this, you will get the text. This is hello world. That is fine. We got the text, but as I have told you that we should not use thread.sleep in our code, because if suppose again I am telling that, suppose there is one element which is displaying in 60 seconds. If I apply implicit wait, this is our implicit wait statement. I am saying for each and every line, this will be applied globally. Remember it. This will be applied globally for each and every step, which means if your website is loaded in 60 seconds, then till the 60 second your test case will not fail. After 60 second only your test case will fail. Similarly for this one, globally wait will be applied, so remove this. And for this one as well, globally 60-second waits will be applied, which means after 60 seconds only your test case will fail. And suppose I am saying dot click. If my element appears at 10 seconds, suppose there is one element which got appeared at 10 seconds, so it will not going to wait entirely for 60 seconds. In case, just like in case of thread.sleep, it will simply click the element and move forward. So here I am saving some time and just try to apply implicit wait here. So let me apply 8 seconds, right? So if I apply 8 seconds, and try to run this program, if I run it, I think our program is also executed. You can see this time what happened, the implicit wait has not waited. So what is the reason? If you see this, if I refresh it again, this is the text, this is the text. And if I click this, if I expand this, this is the text. So this text is already present, but once I click this, this will, as of now, you can see the style. If I click this, style will should change. You can see style, earlier it was coming as none, but now it is in visible mode. So what implicit wait does is, the reason why implicit wait has not waited is because this hello world, how implicit wait will work. If I click it again, the if I you can see this element is already present in the HTML. So implicit wait will basically check whether, sorry, implicit wait will check, let me write it here, where it is, here I am using get text, right? So if I copy this XPath, sorry, this CSS which we have written earlier, right? What is the CSS? This is, if I control F, control V. Now, even before clicking this, even before clicking the start button, we are still able to fetch the text using get text. So implicit wait will basically check whether this element is present inside this HTML structure, which is called document object model, HTML DOM, people say it. So implicit wait works in this way, that I found this text hello world with this CSS in our HTML. So I will simply going to use, I will implicit wait will help to will try to fetch the text, but still it is not in display mode, which means you can say style is display, which means it is not displaying at all in our screen. So this is the reason implicit wait has given you empty string, because as of now it is not visible here. So what we can do in that case is we can apply thread.sleep, that will work, we have already seen, but thread.sleep will cost us the time if we apply in our script. So there is one more kind of wait which is called explicit wait. So implicit wait is not giving us the correct result here because it is looking for the presence of element in our DOM. So this element is present in our HTML DOM. Again, let me show. This element is already present. So implicit wait says that, okay, I found the element and you can use get text. But when I applied get text, this element is not displaying in my screen, in my UI. So because it will visible after few seconds. But as it is already present in our HTML DOM, this element, so implicit wait says, okay, I found the element and let me apply get text. But again, it found the empty string because it is not in visible mode. Now it is visible. So for that, there is one more kind of wait, which is called as explicit wait. So if I comment this, let me not apply implicit wait. So this wait is applied globally, implicit wait. If I do like this, for each and every line, there will be a timeout of 8 seconds, which means after 8 seconds, it will wait before failing our test case. But if I apply, there is one class, let me say web driver. WebDriver weight W equals to new WebDriver weight. Here you have to pass your driver object and say how much weight you want to get in seconds. I think time unit. So you can do directly. If I do like this, so import the package. And there is one, this is W is our object. So let me take it as weight, some meaningful name. And there after that, so basically in case of implicit weight, it is applied for each and every line. But if I am defining WebDriver weight like this is our explicit weight class that will help us to define the explicit weight. So I need to get the weight for all. I am interested in applying weight to only this particular line because here is the issue with that time, some timeout. So I can say first I will find the element, web element. I can catch that in one web element. Let me remove get text, import the package, import web element. Now I will try to apply explicit weight. So weight dot, so this is our object I have created here on the top. Weight dot until here you have to write expected conditions, expected visibility of element located. So whatever the element I am trying to locate, just I am checking whether that element is visible or not. So because if you see, I need to simply first validate after clicking on this button. I want to validate whether element is visible in my UI or not. So after 6 to 7 seconds, it is not visible. So here with the help of explicit weight, I am just checking whether my element visibility, whether my element is become visible or not. So what is the element? This is the element, which is hello world. I will provide it here. So if it is present, then what is the next step I have to do? So what is the error? Save it. Let me write it again. Dot visibility of element located. Okay. So here it is saying you can use this one. Just provide the web element like this. It is expecting in this way. Sorry. If I provide it here and provide one more bracket after that. So provide one bracket. One. Wait to until let me do one thing.
There should be two brackets still.
Two brackets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
for
is
expected
one is
conditions and the one nearby.
okay, two more.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding. So 1, 2. Okay. So I'm saying, so what I'm trying to say, first I'm saying wait until my web element, which is hello world, is visible. So once it will visible, I will try to get the text. But after that, it will visible only. So I will say get text. So if I say after this string text, and if I try to print now, so let me give some wait, which is I have given 30 seconds, but that much is not required. So let me give only 10 seconds. So that will do our work. So if I if I run it, so in case of implicit wait, if you remember, as soon as I have clicked the start button, our test case got executed at the till the last. But if you see, in case of as I have clicked, still our test case is it is checking for the visibility. Once visible, it will get the text. Why it is printed 2 times? So this is how. Let me check why it is printed 2 times. I think this file debug this program. So this time, as we are waiting for the presence of element, so first it has waited until the element will become visible. Then it has applied get text method. So this is the if I okay, so I think I have placed it here as well. That's why it is printed 2 times. So let me run it again. First it is checking. First it is checking whether after loading this element become visible or not. Then only it will apply get text. So here in this case we can apply explicit wait if that is the case. And for that line only we are using explicit wait, but the rest of the lines will not get the explicit wait as in case of it is waiting and after that it will print. So this is the reason. So this is how we can use explicit wait in our script and try avoiding read.sleep. Is it clear to everyone?
Sumit, in this case, the implicit fail will not work at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my question. Will it not work at all? Because earlier we got the output, right, using implicit fail.
No, no, we did not get. Let me show you again. So this is explicit wait. Let me comment this. So if I say element dot first, let me click the element. So here, let me notice WebDriver wait class for explicit wait. Now, if I use implicit wait, what will happen? So I'm saying giving the wait of 8 seconds. So I'm saying that wait for at least 8 seconds. Then only apply the next. Then only execute the next statement. So the reason why it is not working, you can see here. Even after once I click it, even before the element will become visible, you can see still our test case will. Okay, so how it is done? Have I done something wrong? Or
8 seconds was good enough to load it. Maybe you need to reduce the time.
no, no, no. Let me check. Element dot click. If I run it again, earlier I remember it was not working. Or if I do like this, dot, click here only, click. If I do string,
Uh, Sumit, we are already clicking it in the second line, right? Find element CSS selector where ID is start and we are clicking it. And this line is for getting the text, right?
yeah, this is for
The
getting the
H4
text.
is the text,
Yeah,
getting the text. So it should be dot, instead of click,
yeah,
get
yeah.
text.
If I string, and if I provide text, after clicking of this, I am trying to get other text. Even after the element is loading, you can say it is terminated. I should have printed some text here. Text is so even before this one, you can see it. In the output, text is empty, even before this is loaded. So why this is so? Because implicit wait will basically looks for the presence of element in your HTML structure. So if you copy this XPath, this is the XPath we have written for get text. This is already present in our HTML, right? Already present before clicking this. So when I am using implicit wait identifies that this element is present in our HTML. So you can use get text, but this element is not in visible mode. Once I am clicking it, it will taking some time to get visible. So before visible, there was no text here. Before element got visible, there was not such text. So this is the reason we get empty in case of implicit wait. Is it clear? But in case of this one, which is explicit wait, here clearly I am checking whether the element is visible or not. Then only apply get text, because it is not. It is basically checking for the visibility of element, not for the presence of element in our HTML, just like implicit wait. Is it clear?
Yes, Sumit.
Let me check one thing. I remember that even with the implicit wait, we are getting the same. Let me check.
So, if we give the number of seconds as more, probably we can achieve that.
Where
Uh,
in implicit wait,
yeah, in implicit wait, yeah.
even if I give like 50 seconds, what will happen when, as I've given 50 seconds, when it will reach to this line. Suppose right after this line, it is reaching to this line. So again, this is the element that is present in our HTML. So condition will become true.
Uh, Once second, Sumit. So before the text, when we are trying to retrieve the text, right? Before giving that text statement, what if we give this implicitly wait statement?
No, no. See, if you apply here, for each and every line there will be default time of 50 seconds. This is how implicit wait will work. As I have said that it is applied globally for each and every step, that will be the default time, right, for each and every line, because I provided it with the driver. And if you try to write it here, that is not an issue, right? If you try to see now what will happen after 50, I have applied 50-second wait. So as I am applying 50-second wait, so these two lines will not get this benefit, because if I comment this, so these two lines will execute normally, but after that I am applying some wait so that for this line 50-second wait will be there. But if, as I am telling that implicit wait looks for the whether your element is present inside your HTML structure. So this element if I copy, here it is, this, sorry, this element, if I refresh, this element is present in our HTML structure, or you can say HTML DOM already even before clicking this. So as implicit wait looks for the presence of element in our HTML DOM, so this condition, it implicit will say that this element is present in our HTML. So condition become true. So immediately this condition will become true and it will apply get text. But this element will take at least 5 to 6 seconds to load, because implicit wait will not check for the visibility of element, right? So if I click this, if I refresh it, as soon as I will click this, implicit will wait will say that hello world is present in our HTML, and it will apply get text, but it is waiting some time before visibility. So after that it will visible, but as implicit wait will check for the element in the DOM. If I run it, even if you apply 100 second, then also it should not, because it is simply checking in the HTML DOM. So condition true and immediately it will get the text. The presence of element it is not checking. So if I run it, we have given 50-second implicit wait, but you can see at first second only it has completed our program execution, because we have not applied thread.sleep, so it will not going to entire 50-second. It find the element in our HTML structure only at the first second. So condition true, it has applied get text, but element is not visible, so we did not get the desired element. So this is how implicit wait will work. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
So guys, we will not see new topic as of now. We will discuss in the other session.
Sumata, I have a different question.
Yeah.
Now we understood that the difference between implicit weight and explicit weight. But is it possible to use both the weights? Because I want implicit weight to apply on all the statements. And
Yeah, is it
for
possible?
one particular.
Yeah, if you do like this, suppose I'm applying implicit weight here, where
Mhm,
uh,
mhm.
if I do like this, if I do like this here, right? So 50 seconds I've given here, and
Mhm.
there is wait dot until. I think I have moved this. Okay, so it is here. Copy this. So let me remove this. Here we have declared implicit wait on the top. So for each and every line, this will be the implicit wait. But if I do
Mhm.
for this particular line, which is this element, now here you will see again, which will apply explicit wait will be given preference in this line, because for that line I am using this. So if I run this program, for each and every line, this will be the 50 wait second. with the help of implicit weight. But for this line only, we have applied explicit weight, so that is not an issue. It will give preference to explicit weight. So this time we should again look for the presence of element. So you can see it is printed hello world, which means for this line we are applying explicit weight. So it is applied for any particular line you can apply. Is it clear?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's clear. Thank
So
you.
guys, please practice these whatever TestNG, TestNG Maven. So from the, I think from the next lecture, 1 or 2 lecture, we will start designing our framework. So there we are again going to see few of the concepts from all the topics. And I think we have also discussed how to take the screenshot. Please confirm. Have we done
Yes.
how to take the screenshot? Yeah, okay. Then okay, so guys, thanks for attending the session for today.
Thank you, Sumit.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.